Welcome to Smoke That Thunders. It's your host, the Giraffe Award winner, Shao Magavu. And today we have an amazing guest, an artist, the artist. His name is Draco. So Draco, man, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, bro?
Nah, I'm good, man. How are you surviving? How are you surviving the most racially induced Polish winter of years to come? Years.
I'm staying indoors most of the time. To be honest, it's too cold.
As artists do, because most people think artists are extroverts, but are you part of the artists that hide in their cocoons and only come out when they perform, or are you an extroverted artist who is more on the social butterfly side?
To be honest, when I first came here, I was outside a lot, but then
you grew up.
I didn't like what I saw, so most of the time I'm indoors, and I prefer to express myself through music.
Oh, fact, and I respect that quite a lot. And what did you see that you didn't like?
I mean, people are out there, people are wild, and I don't know, that type of energy.
It's not for you.
It's not for me.
Nah.
A bit calm because people feel free here. They're away from home, and they're doing the most.
They were scaring you. The freaks were scaring you.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about how you grew up, man. Like which country you grew up, your family structure, and the details.
Okay. So I'm the firstborn. In a family of 3 kids. My parents are still both alive, thank God. We grew up in Zimbabwe. That's where I'm from. I'm Zimbabwean. I was born in Mutare and then later went to Kariba.
Oh,
that is north of Zimbabwe. And then around 13, later moved to Harare. And yeah, that's where I pretty much grew up.
So where do you call home? Where would you say is the city or the town that we all Draco for?
It's Harare.
So you're a Harare boy.
Yeah.
Not Kariba. You could be the biggest thing in Kariba, like since the dam, man. Well, why not owning Kariba?
I mean, like I was there for maybe the first third of my childhood. But then, yeah,
So you wouldn't consider it home. Okay. So you're a Harare boy. And what type of school did you go to? Were you like old boys school?
Primary, I was by Selborne Rutledge.
Okay.
It's opposite Prince Edward. And then for high school, I went to the best school in Zimbabwe.
And which is?
I was by Kutama College.
So that's a boys' school, huh?
Yeah.
And how did that shape you? Because, the thing about guys who go to boys' schools, yeah, you guys are the ones that take the girls from guys from mixed schools, because I've been both at a boys' school and at a girls' school, at a mixed school, my bad. And when I was at a boys' school, the competitive nature of getting a girl and then coming back to hostel and telling your friends that, I'm the mildest owner or I'm the greatest owner, kind of drives you to become this bad boy.
To be honest, I entered the school as a boy and I left as a man. That place groomed me to be, something different. And I think the rumors are true when it comes to ladies.
Fair enough.
Most guys from boys' eyes, they can take.
Would you put yourself in that pantheon of bowlers from boys' schools?
One a day I'm feeling like...
Fair enough. Now the music, man. Because you're a firstborn and you're not supposed to be doing music as a firstborn. You're supposed to be a doctor, an engineer. The secondborn and the thirdborn and the lastborn, or the middle children, like Monashi, can do what they can do, hobbies and passions and what they actually love. But the first one has to be mundane. They have to be boring. When did you rebel the firstborn stereotype and become an artist?
Okay, it was around Form 4. That's when I was like, I kind of like this, I started, learning, because at the time I was making trash music. I was still learning, and I was like, I'm only going to come out like when this stuff starts to make sense, so Form 4, lower 6. And then upper 6, I think that's when I made my first, good song. That's when I kind of came out. I'm not sure if my parents know.
Would you want them to know?
I think the moment I'll get that first traction that is like, a bit bigger, I think I'll let them know.
So eventually, they're gonna know.
Yeah.
And did you ever have an embarrassing musician era? We all had boys who were rappers. We all had boys who thought they were producers because they would bang pins on the table.
Yeah.
Did you ever go through that era where Waito Makisa, like you were the wannabe rapper in the class, not knowing which era of music you were looking at or mimicking at that time? At that time, though, it was Lil Wayne, it was Kanye, it was Jay. Were you ever an embarrassing musician?
What I can say is, like I said, I took time to learn my craft, right? So what I started doing was, I was like, guys, I can record you. I can record other people. So like other artists at school, right, they would come to me and then I would record them. So I never got to a point where like I embarrassed myself, but then I would record other people, maybe learn from them. They didn't know that I'm learning from them, see what they're doing. And in high school, by the time that I did come out that I want to do music, people kind of like counted me out,
what's he doing now?
What is he saying? What is he saying? And at the time, I was cool with it and I started, working. And right now, I can pretty much say, if not at par or even, a mile ahead of the people they counted me out with, that's how I feel about it. So I never really had a moment where, like I said, there's a moment I knew that the music was trash. Even my girl, she wouldn't post my link. She wouldn't post my link. She wouldn't share it. It was a huge issue, but then, looking back at it now, I understand, I understand her. Like, the music was trash then.
At that time, the music was still in the cocoon. It wasn't yet a butterfly.
Yeah.
And talking about the women in your life, because I actually saw on your former interview that's on your channel. You guys are free to watch it. And the girl asked you what type of person you are, and then you're like, you're a ladies' man. So are you still a ladies' man? Or you have matured out of that era? Your puberty is done.
To be honest, I do have love for women. Firstly, my mother and my little sister. And then when it comes to romantic love, I don't know. I think it's forbidden in the land that we are.
What do you mean it's forbidden? What do you mean it's forbidden? We had a guy in our studio last week who basically played a song request for his betrothed. So what do you mean it's forbidden, man? I've been, I think, pretty successful. I've had 2 long relationships in Poland, which I've enjoyed very much. So, what do you mean?
Either it's forbidden or it's not for me. I don't know.
So you're the problem.
No, I'm not the problem. But then, I mean, you try to talk to people, and most of the time, man. Most of the time, 98% of the time.
Yeah.
I think I can safely say I have only fumbled once.
But who did you fumble? And how did you fumble? Okay, maybe no names, but then how did you fumble? What I know about the art? Because you're a tall guy. You make music. You're confident in yourself. You're confident in your skin. You're the right age. You're not a Bali. You're not above 30. So there's no excuses for you. So how did you fumble?
What I can say is I came a little too late. How you meet someone and things are easy.
Yeah, it was too easy for you.
Let's not say that. Things are easy, and then I think you get too relaxed, and then you just don't pull up for someone, and they maybe start checking out after a certain amount of time. Like, they were patient with you, and then they start checking out, and by the time you start trying to come back, like, they've checked out, And she, I don't know, ended up with her best friend or something like that. I don't know, but. Yeah.
Wait, she ended up with a best friend? Wait, what?
But then, such is life, man. Such is life.
I get you, man. I hope you find love after Valentine's. which was Patty love before Valentine's is the easiest thing in the world. It's like love is laid on a plate for you, especially before Valentine's. But back to the music. So Zim, you're doing your thing. What is the first song that you arrived? You're like, now I'm here as a musician.
Okay, so the first song that I ever did that I felt confident in myself, like, okay, I think I can do something, was called The Flow.
Mm-hmm.
You won't find it. I took it down.
Why?
It's kind of mine, like it's kind of mine. Like I feel sentimental with it. But then it was a song I did with this guy called YD. He's in Zambia right now. So originally, like, I did the song on my own, and then the guy who's my manager now, Sydney, he was like, bruh, I think we should add someone else to the song, It's sounding a bit like some parts you're dragging. And I'm like, okay. And then I took out the verse, I liked least, and then YD put this crazy verse. And then we had the song mixed, mastered, and then it was made, and it was beautiful. And then that's when I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And I actually performed at Okutama College, this big festival called Winterfest.
Oh, wow, okay.
And people went crazy. That was the first time I actually came out as a musician, like as a rapper, as an artist. And people, like, everyone was like, you like the chill, like, and what are you doing? I'm like, relax. And then people were amazed. And then that's when I was like, okay. And then the first song that I ever published, like, publicly, was called You're the One.
You're the One.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if we had put it on our list, but then we'll play one of your songs very soon. And now that you sort of, flow made you graduate into an artist, right? That's when you got, which I think is the most important thing, the immediate appreciation of your art. Because I've always said the hardest thing for like African artists in Poland is just, doing your stuff in front of people, man, because you guys are good. You just don't really get the right platforms to, showcase your talent, which ends up demotivating you guys because the stuff is good. The stuff is good. Like, it's pretty good. And, the problem is that most promoters and, to be honest, the general public aren't usually ready to listen to new artists because they would rather see XQ, who's come in once every 3 months. As Zimbabweans, we were genuinely commercial people now. We don't really care about art as the public. The public doesn't really care about art. That even if we were to ask most Zimbabweans to name like 10 Zimbabwean actors right now, no one can even name 5 because we've kind of lost or we've separated ourselves from art. But then what we always love and what people always love is music, but then they don't get the new music because, in terms of radio, it's not going to be on Polish radio. We might play it, but a drop in a whole ocean. You know what I mean? Which kind of demotivates you guys along. I've seen a lot of like artists just come and stop, like they do music, but then no one wants to be an opening act for 3 years and do 2 songs, and then your boy say it's great, and then you wait for XU to come again to get that same opportunity. So, which leads me to the next question, which is, as a Zimbabwean artist who's in Poland, what do you guys want right now? What is it? What's one thing that we as the community, or we as some people who've been here for a long time, who might know people who might have things, or certain conditions that you might not have access to immediately? What can we do?
I think firstly, is that access maybe to those, events that happen, those festivals that happen during maybe summer. I'm not saying like put us like a whole lineup of all the upcoming, but like maybe sit down and be like, okay, how many people are making music? How many people have, something going on? How many events do we have planned? Maybe 2 for this, 2 for that, 2 for that, give people, the chance to put them in front of people, right?
Yeah.
Because I was actually, like when I saw that XQ is coming, talked to my manager and I was like, yo, bro, do you think like, we can get up there? And he was like, I know a guy, but it's a bit difficult, like that's how it is, like you have to know a guy.
Definitely.
You have to know a guy. It's not about, what you're doing or the numbers or how good the stuff is, you have to know a guy,
Yeah.
And I think that's, if it was a request, that would be a request, to just, because at times I think, for me, I don't know for others, but then right now where I'm at, like, I'm not at a point whereby like I'm looking for economic or any profit from it, like I'm trying to do my thing. So if they're afraid that I want money, like they can approach me and I'll tell them personally, like, if I am asking for something, trust me, it won't be that much, or maybe a time, like it can be a deal, like, maybe just tickets for my team or something like that. You get it.
This is allow my team to enter. But don't you think gatekeepers are important? Because I have a weird thing that I think gatekeepers are important because they separate the trash from the trap, for lack of a better term, which is you might be good, but then there are 10 people who are doing, who are artists, but then out of those 10, like 2 are good. But then if you let everyone in, people are going to remember the 8 bad artists. And now you guys, my group, that's the thing. But then if there's gatekeeping, because I think one of the greatest things to know if someone is good enough is how many people they have access to. Because, talent doesn't discriminate, in my opinion. If you're good at football, you can play for Chelsea, you can play for Man United. But if you're not, like, good, you might not actually have access to people who can actually sometimes, like, platform you, of which I think now the biggest problem that you guys are facing as artists is just most of the people who actually were in the industry kind of retired or have turned to God. So they're not gonna invest in the youth, and they're not even gonna, like, there are times when we had parties every week, we had events every week, when everyone was doing something, but then now, like, the most profitable thing is church, and people are at church. So the only way that you guys can probably survive is basically you guys either doing gospel, which you are doing. You got a gospel song.
Yeah, I just did a gospel song.
Or the other thing is just skipping the African or the foreigners market and just going for the Polish people and being unapologetically in that Polish market, which is hard.
Yeah. To be honest, I have always, had that mindset, like, success or my success or anyone's success is not in anyone's hands,
Yeah.
If it's meant to happen, in a way, God will set me up, because I've had, times where, like, somebody, like, blocked me out, but eventually, like, we got there, eventually we got there, so at times it's difficult, but then you eventually meet someone, like, I remember, like, when I first got here, reached out to a couple of people, and then ended up, reaching out to Alex, and Alex, she was pretty nice, pretty supportive, and, I think she have done, 2 events for her so far, and
Ola.
Yeah,
Ola, yeah.
And yeah, we've been okay, the thing I just don't like, is when, you're in a position and then it becomes too much of, bootlegging, like.
Yeah, I get you.
It frustrates me to an extent, like, don't get me wrong, like, of course I have to hit you up. It's just like for us to be sitting here today, we talked maybe
about it,
3 times, like, yo, bro.
Yeah.
But then there's a difference between someone trying to fit you into a schedule and someone trying to make you say beg for it.
Yeah.
I don't like that energy, like.
Oh, you're an artist. I think artists need an ego. So, like, and that's also kind of where my frustration is, that, the fact that Ola is, like, the only road right now, of which I don't know if she's told you guys she's retiring from doing, like, entertainment now.
Yeah, she told me that she wants to branch into something different. But, like, as a person, like, I support that. Maybe my artist side will be her, but then as a person, like, do something that you're proud of.
Like,
for,
do you? Yeah. Yeah, I think the artist thing it's a big thing, because I think when I was really, like, super in the industry, like, we were moving to a point where, like, we really, because I had my own band, and simultaneously also helping like other artists, like rappers. So would actually have live bands and some rappers. And because I also had like connections with people who do like photo albums with them, get the models and all that. But then it gets to a point where you're like, it's not lucrative enough for middlemen. And I think that's kind of where it is now, where like people are like, okay, yeah, we can do all this, but they're like, there's no money involved. But then for artists, it's never about the money. So it's like the artists who suffer the most, because like the greedy guys, which I wasn't a greedy guy, but the greedy guys, once there's no money or once there's no immediate like compensation, they'll be like, I'm gonna eat it, but I'm not really gonna invest my time and energy to that, because that kind of kills the whole industry. Because to be honest, dog, we're like super privileged to be in Poland, where there are certain things that we just have advantages over, like Wi-Fi, man.
Yeah,
in Zim, reason why artists don't have money, there's no Wi-Fi, dog. You know what I mean? No one can stream your YouTube music. What do you think? Amapiano is like half of the top 10 in Zim. You know what? There's this artist, I've got a name, but like this gospel artist who just has big audiences, but then most of her audience is like one Kumusha. So she's actually probably the biggest artist in Zim, but then out of 100,000 fans, 2,000 are online. So in the eyes of the world, in the eyes of media, she's not financially successful, but then in Zim, she's big. And that's kind of where I think as Zimbabweans we're just suffering, as Africans generally. We just don't have enough online numbers to like support musicians. And simultaneously, now that I think we're now losing is like we're losing the art of live music and proper live venues. I appreciate what Ola did, obviously, which was a great thing, but then like that venue, I know the owner of Coco Lounge is a good friend of mine, and they won't mind me saying this. It's not a venue for music per se. It's a venue for dinners and lunches, but then sometimes that's all we have access to, which is a pretty big problem. But it's a very complex thing. But
for me, like if you notice my music, right? I've always had this like, because I asked myself like in Zim, like respect to everyone that has ever made music in Zim, but like why haven't we ever had like that artist that like breaks the borders? I think maybe Tuku is the one that I think I can say came closest to that. But in other artists, I feel like their mindset or their goal is in them. So I've always tried to make like my music sound more so international. I even tell my producer when I send him my files, make it international, make it sound international, bro. Even the way I structure my music, of course I use Shona, but I make sure, just like Davido. Davido, at times he says things we don't even understand. But trust me, he will always keep it, like even if the English is not like, if he's speaking his English, but he will try to make it, a sound that everyone can enjoy. And, so I've been trying to, like make the music relatable, to a lot of souls anywhere where you are, so as to, increase the numbers, And also even my upcoming song, there's a song that's upcoming.
It's coming out soon, huh?
I have a Polish artist.
Oh, wow.
Huge pop artist, like she's good, like she's crazy. Like watch out for that song when it comes. She featured on the Voice. Do you know that show?
The Voice,
I think she was number 2 2018, I'm not sure. But she's good. She's crazy good, and I like the song, how it's sounding. So on that song, I told her, go crazy. Use the language you want. And she used Polish, and then for the chorus we were like English. So we're gonna tap into that Polish market,
and like we need you to cross over, man. Then we'll come back to the industry and come with business plans and business ideas. But I've actually been thinking a lot, and I've actually talked to some people about it. I think even Monaji was instead of doing like a cipher of like new artists, because one thing. Like my biggest thing was probably ended off just doing gospel, because that's what like I saw people going. But like if we get like all the young artists, and we do, I don't know if you guys are old enough to know what a gala is. where like there'll be like Macheso and Tungai Moyo, and it's like a whole night of just artists. I don't know why he's laughing. Yeah, exactly. It's like a whole night of just people like it's like almost a versus, but then an indirect versus, where you're not going song for song, but then everyone has a slot, and in your slot you have to kill it for people to remember you. Of which that's the other thing I've been really, really thinking about, because I think sometimes, which one thing artists won't understand, sometimes the show has to be better. It has to be about the show first rather than the artist, because artists might have their own like legion of followers, but they for it to like be a show, it needs to have like a theme. And that's, I think, probably the biggest show in Zim right now is Chibuku Super Clash. We don't even know most of the artists, but then we just know it's gonna be crazy. Obviously, that's kind of where I think music and artists has to go, because people will be like, there's a Chibuku Super Clash in Poland. That would be crazy. And people will come, and you guys will get the numbers. You get the 300, 400, because they'll be like, what the hell is going on? So I think that's kind of where the industry needs to go, where like the show is just like some crazy stuff, rather than like sort of like individualism. Because even like some of the biggest artists that have been like in the Zimbabwean or the African circle, they've run out of energy, man. They've drained, because you can only make good music so much. And I think people aren't really educated on how to be musicians, because like I'm also part of this opera club, and most of the opera singers there, right, they have day jobs. So like music is something that they love, and sometimes they make money. They go to France, they go to Germany, because opera is a big industry. But from like 9 to 6, they've got a job, like a serious job, which I think is something that we're not taught in Zim. In Zim, it's always all or nothing. Especially, I call it probably the middle class problem, where like most of us are middle class kids, and we will never go from rags to riches. You know what I mean? None of us are really rags to riches. We're not from like Cholocho and have never seen a country who are 18. We were surrounded by success. We did have DSTV, you know what I mean? Not just channel 100, but the actual bouquet. You know what I mean? And we saw all these things, and it was prior to be those things. But simultaneously, because we're middle class children, our parents would be like, no, but you can't risk, because probably a generation or a generation before, we were broke as hell, and this is our peak, so we have to conserve it and become doctors and lawyers. But that's a story for another day. Let's go back to the music. And I want to play my favorite song by you. That's probably the song that I heard when we met at Ola's event, and it's called Shallow. I hope you guys love this song. I think it's a proper banger. Song of the year, in my opinion.
Around the world, seen a lot of girls, but nobody's better than you, I swear. Wherever think the better, come up front and show us you got, yes, you are there. This girl is red, skin like pearl, you can't compare. Pretty face, curved hips, oh my gosh, her lips. Look at you, pretty sim girl. 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 Who the baddest in the world? Shallow. Who the finest in the world? Shallow. Who the baddest in the world? Shallow. Who the finest in the world? Shallow. Je m'appelle stepper. With you by my side, everything better. You give me one, no matter the weather. You're a superstar, you're a trendsetter. Know we got some issues, it will get better. You're the one I need, just as two, one good deal complete. No matter how hard, I won't forfeit. Anything you want, girl, trust me, I'll fix. My baby, I miss you. On my way to come see you. On the neck that to you. Look at you, pretty sim girl. Look at you, pretty sim girl. Who the baddest in the world? Charlotte. Who the finest in the world? Charlotte. Who the baddest in the world? Charlotte. Who the finest in the world? Charlotte.
So yeah, who's the greatest in the world? Shallow. So who's Shallow, man?
Shallow is a term. Okay, so when I was making this song, right, I was like, okay, I want to make a chant, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to make a chant. Even if you look at how I, make the chorus, people something can shout, So I was like, I want to make a chant. And then I was like, okay, what can I use? What can I say? And then at first I was like, maybe I can, choose something that has already been made, like Shyla. I was like, Shyla. It wasn't sounding okay. Shyla. Nah, it's too long. That doesn't work. And I was like, maybe Chachi. I'm like, nah, that doesn't work either. I was like, okay, I guess I have to make a word, and give it a meaning, right? And then I was like, okay. Shallow. Yeah, the way shallow, it's open at the end.
Yeah, it stretches. Yeah.
And people can sing that back to me. And I was like, shallow, okay. So in this song, shallow is any woman in your life, your mom, your lover, your sister. And that is beautiful, a queen, and someone of color, So basically I just mean like whoever you're with,
As long as it's a person of color.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I didn't go on like to, represent my country like in the bridge. I was like, look at you, pretty sim girl, so yeah.
Which I think is an anthem, and I think it works. It's an easy song in the sense of it's an easy listen. It's what we call a radio song because perfect size, and it's a good song. Like it's just genuinely a good song. I liken it to like maybe a relative of it would be Too Much by Nati O, where it's such a song where you can listen to it for 6 months, then you stop listening to it, and then you're gonna listen to it 5 years later and smile because you remember where you were when you heard that song, which. That's the same vibe I get with Shallow, and the video production was great. Actually, all your video production are amazing. First of all, I think the song that we played just before you came, "Oh Darling" featuring Rue, where you're wearing the velvet tuxedo with roses, and the background is red. And I forgot what the lady was wearing, but then it was matching. It was like
she was
very
in a red dress as well.
exactly. You guys were matching, and then you changed to the football t-shirts that were matching. So, are you also creatively responsible for your videos, or like you have an underground video director?
Okay, so when it comes to my videos, right, I mainly like make the script. Like, I think I can say 90% of the script. I envision, like how it's gonna be. I look for a set that will, match the vibe that I'm trying to put, right? So I write down the script, and if I have a co-star, I explain it to the co-star. And then I leave, room for the director, of course, someone that has been in that industry to, give us direction of how to do it when we're then shooting. But then I do share like footnotes with them like beforehand. For this type of scene, I'm looking for this type of vibe, so that they can plan, ahead, like their camera movements, and just have it in their head, like how we're gonna do things. But then, in terms of the set, I look for myself, and then the wardrobe I do myself, and then the overall direction of the video I do myself.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, right? Because I think it's just a visual representation of your creativity, and which leads me to the next question, because like we were mentioning earlier, that how you actually got the word shallow, it was like a trial and error type of creation. So what's your creative process like? Because your songs are very melodious and they're very catchy. So I would want to know, is it for you lyrics first or it's music first? And if it's music first, is your sort of like your MCing or your lyric writing, you filling in the gaps, or you have a certain idea of the story you want to tell and then you just put it in the best words possible?
How I started off was instrumental first, beat first. I get it. If I feel it, the first time I listen to it, I keep it. At the time, I might not have words, but then I keep it. And then, you know, there are times I just say, today I think I want to write music. And then I go through those beats. And, you know, ideas start coming. And then I, you know, pick maybe context. Like, what do I want the song to be about? And then I, you know, maybe choose a title, write what it's about, you know? And then I start writing. So at times I think maybe a chorus might come first or easier and the other verses. For me, the first verse, man, is very important. Like the way I enter is very important. So at times maybe I might even skip it and come back to it like, you know, with full energy and make sure that it hits hard. You know, so that because once the song starts, right, like maybe there'll be strings, synths and stuff, someone is going to wait. The moment you open your mouth and you don't say anything that makes sense, skip. So like I make sure like it's hard.
Like it's like a banger. Like it has to be an immediate banger for you for it to be like a proper song.
Yeah, like the first verse. So once I write everything else, I, you know, come back to the first verse and then make sure that like everything is sitting right. So after I do that, right, I'm now practicing the song to see if, because like the way I write songs is like, most of it like it's maybe mumble in my head, right? Yeah. So at times you can actually realize, oh my word, like now singing something doesn't fit. Maybe it's a syllable too long, or then maybe you start correcting and then you get to a point where you're like, okay, this is the song. This is the song. And by the time I go to the studio, like I know what I'm going to do and you know what I'm going to say, how to do it. And maybe like ad-libs and backings, that's what I leave for that day. But most of my craft is, you know, planned. Like, yeah, I know what I'm going to do when I get to the studio. If I'm doing a song on my own, an hour is enough to make a song. If I have
an hour?
Yeah.
That's quick, man. Because usually it takes quite a long time to like produce one song. I've never been patient enough to sit out through a whole creative process, because it's a lot of nitty gritty stuff which sometimes I just don't have the like patience for. But in an hour, that's quick. You must be the fastest songwriter of all time, from conception to, you know, the practicality of a song. And then we're gonna play another song by you, the one that we mentioned just before, which is Darling, featuring Rue. Is she in Poland?
Yeah, she stays in Lublin.
Hey, I will ask how you guys met after the song.
Feeling your vibe for the night, oh baby, stay inside. Yeah, I've been looking for somebody who can handle this valley. I've been looking for somebody who can take this shot. You one of a kind, perfect design, you always on my mind. Nobody but like you bad boy as they come, taking the space in my mind, all my thoughts you consume. Just one touch, I feel wherever you bad boy as they come. Oh papa, oh papa, oh papa, hey. Oh darling, oh darling, oh darling. Oh papa, oh papa, oh papa, hey. Oh darling, oh darling, oh darling. Look in your eyes, holding your thighs, girl, you're the prize, I'm mesmerized. Matter of time, so I make you mine. Push you to the crib and wife you up. Gwinea Bissau, Nana Melissa,
life it a race, I let it flow. But with you, I can't compare. Ain't gon' lie, girl, you ready?
Pana acha zika ndatologa wangu ndapitch.
Pana acha zika ndatufenza wangu ndapitch.
You're the one that I want, so my heart please preserve.
You're the one that I want, so my heart please be sick. Oh mama, oh mama, oh mama, yeah. Oh darling, oh darling, oh darling. Oh mama, oh mama, oh mama, yeah. Oh darling, oh darling, oh darling.
Oh papa,
Oh
oh papa,
mama,
oh darling,
oh darling.
oh papa.
Oh, Papa. Are you the Papa that she was talking about? Oh, no.
um, for this context, I would like to believe so for this context. Yeah. So like funny thing, like I was actually coming from work. Those days I would finish around 2 a.m. Like, I just got off the night bus. You know, I'm walking home. I knew the beat was good. I had the beat for about 2 months. I knew the beat was good. I just hadn't, you know, gotten anything. And then I'm just walking home. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, wait. That's good. So what came first was, oh, Papa. And I'm like, but wait, why am I saying, oh, Papa? And I'm like, no, wait. What if for the other chorus I say, oh, Mama? And then like it came out, oh, Mama, word. And I'm like, okay, so now this means I have 2 people on the song. Okay. So then I wrote the whole song actually, like from start to finish. I wrote in the girl's shoes and then I wrote in my shoes, like responding myself. And then I finished the song, practiced it. It was perfect. And I was like, okay, now let's look for the girl. That was the hardest part.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I reached out to this girl. We talk, we discuss. I even share my art with her, man. Like the whole song we're on I booked my studio Friday. We were scheduled for Saturday, and then Friday she just texts me, hey, and I'm like, oh no. I put my phone down and then I looked at my team and I'm like, guys, I think we're gonna need to make a plan. And they're like, what? And I'm like, she texted me, hey. They're like, what do you mean? Just open the phone. I'm like, trust me. And then I took my phone. There were 3 more messages. I'm like, see. I can no longer make it, this, that. Fast forward, I was mad at her, cut her off for a year. Fast forward, because this was like the second time she stood me up.
Damn.
Fast forward, we bump into each other like a year later, and then she's like, okay, let me tell you the truth. The guy was
boyfriend said no.
The guy I was seeing at the time, he didn't feel safe. With
yeah.
Yeah. So like you told me like, either you're gonna be with Draco after that session, or, so like, and I'm like, okay, it's fine, peace, we're good now. And then so I couldn't record it then, you know. Now
who's this girl, by the way? We need names, man. We need names.
Okay. The second girl was called Grace.
Yeah.
We had a lunch and then things were moving okay. We progressed.
This was a date, guys. Don't say we're moving okay. We were on a date then.
We progressed to what you call it, dinner and stuff, and then a movie and stuff.
In one day.
Yeah, you know.
Hey.
We were getting along.
Oh! Shout out to your pocket, man.
And then she was like, "Oh, you sing me something." I'm like, you know what? Scratch that. I have a project. Like, let's, in a playful way, let's see what you would do for you on this project, right? So, cause I knew like she sang in church, right? She's amazing. And then she So I sang the song to her, you know. For the girls' parts, I was doing a high pitch. And then she got the song, and then for the second try, we sang the song together, and she was great. And I was like, okay, I think you're the person. So I explained it to her. I want to do this record, this and that. And she's like, cool. I'm like, fine, okay. We have someone, we're back on. So again, I booked my studio. This time I'm even confident. I booked the studio for the video. I go tell him it's about to happen. I tell everyone, right? And then I think they're Wednesday this time. She's like, hey. I'm like, hey. What's happening? You know, I put my phone down and I'm like, okay, breathe. And then I was pissed, you know, because keep in mind, I booked the studio.
Yeah.
I bought wardrobe for her size. I booked the video photo studio. Everything is ready, you know. And then she's like, okay, I sat down and thought about it. The direction of the video, it seems like we're gonna need to touch and stuff. Of course, I respect that. I respect that part. I'm like, but you knew this before. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Like with these lyrics, you know, you knew beforehand.
But it was high fives.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my word. I was so mad. And then she's like, but then I know this girl. I think she's the type of person that would be down for it. Like my ego nearly went like, nah, I'll handle it on my own. And I was just like, set me up. She's like, okay. She talked to her, and then I was like, explain everything. I just want to call and make sure we're on. Explain everything. I'm not gonna explain this song for the third time in my life. She explained everything. Then I called the girl. I'm like, hey, Ru, what's up? She's like, hey, this is the project. You down? I'm down. Okay. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. So these are the dates. Okay, fair and fine. Before I hung up, I was like, is there anything you would like to communicate with me?
Yeah.
To make you feel comfortable, to make you feel happy to work with me. She's like, I think maybe for safety, can I, have a +1, my friend? I'm like, yeah, sure, I understand. So,
+1 for what?
I'm like, some people, they don't trust me.
Yeah,
like,
I get that out for protection, yeah.
I'm like, it's fine. You don't know me, like, you're coming out here from, imagine, like, you're coming out from Lublin, to also maybe I'm a crazy man or something like that. Yeah, sure, you can bring your friend. So that was the only request she had, fair and fine. So she would travel with her friend. So we booked everything. She came for the recording, and then we went to the studio. We did our thing. So if I have someone, I usually like to book at least 2 to 3 hours, because most of the time, in the first hour, the takes are trash, and they're still warming up and
like comfortability and everything. Yeah.
So we recorded the song. It was great, and then next week she came for the video. So it was my first time, doing a video like that.
Yeah.
So I won't lie, I was kind of shy.
You're shy? But you performed at Winterfest at Kutama, man. I mean, haters are scarier than any girl, I think.
It was my first time, like, with a girl, like, I wasn't dating, and, like, there are people watching.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to operate, when you're just two people,
Yeah.
But now I have two. I have, there's talent, there's assistant, and my team, It's easy to come back to your boys and say, I got game.
Yeah.
Now the boys are there watching the game.
Do you have game?
Live, and Talem is like,
Talem would say that.
And I'm like, so like, the first 30 minutes I went like, those takes were trash, but then I warmed up and, I got used to it, and
because it looked very natural. I mean, from an audience point of view,
people were actually asking like, "Are you dating?
Are you hitting that? And where are you hitting that?"
No, like we made for that video, right? And we shot the video, and that was it. Of course, we talked for promo sake, because like I think 2 weeks into the campaign of the song, like after it released, I went to Lublin so that we could just take some promotional videos and stuff. But then, like, other than that, those were the only encounters we had, and on the phone.
Yeah, so
we didn't talk unless
professional. Then
we needed to talk, and I think we're cool. I bumped into her I think a month ago, but other than that, We were just, like doing it for the record. Because like that's me, honestly. When I do a song, like I try to, in terms for the audio side, I make sure like I express myself fully, if it's passion, if it's, and then for the video, right, I try to embody the character too, make sure that I bring out, the words, like the expression of what I felt in that moment. So for me, it's just the visual art, like I don't go to music maybe to scratch something within me to say, okay, there'll be vixens in videos. We can get this sort of mileage. Yeah. It's professional, and I just do it for the love of the game.
And that's after that, man, because I can imagine how difficult it is to live that kind of lifestyle, So shout out to you on that. And probably our last question, probably before we wrap up, is obviously you've got a song that's making the rounds, and it's a great song. Different from what you usually make, because usually the lover guy, you know what I mean, the love man. This is I would say it's two in the spectrum of love, but in terms of being love between a man and a woman, it's a love between a man, a woman, and God separately. So please tell us like the process of probably your first gospel song, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, it's my first gospel song. People were kind of shocked, like, what?
That's
you? I'm like, so, did you think like I was a hidden or something like that? I mean, like, Abba Father, what happened was, it started last year in July. We were at work. Everyone got a notification. There's a meeting. Okay. The whole project, okay. We get into the meeting and they're like, okay. There's no better way to say it. The project is closing.
Damn.
All 500 of you, one day you'll be let go.
Damn.
And man, like I looked at the financial strains that would come with it. And I was like, yo. And then I felt, like sad for a moment. Excuse me. And then I was like, okay. So maybe in 2 months I'll be gone. Okay. So, that kind of depression started to lock in, because I was applying like, the moment you get that type of news, you start applying for different positions like crazy and, start getting a lot of no's, like you spiral. And I was like, I had been hearing a voice saying, like, write me something. God had been telling me for a long time. At one point I wrote this song called Yeshua, but then that gumrabav. And then this time I was like, all right, let me write something. So I was like, okay, what direction do I want to take? The typical gospel beat, or something different? I was like, I always do different. Let me take something different.
Yeah.
Then I looked for an Afro pop beat, with this producer called Coscos, and I was like, okay, I like this. And then, so the first verse, it